Villanova is in the Final Four for the third time under Jay Wright, and we are pleased to welcome him back to the program, albeit without an Armani suit today. This is a new look for us, looking at Jay. Bill Self joined us a few weeks ago, and he told us how impressive he finds your team. What is the one thing that concerns you most about facing his team?
Dynamic scoring on the perimeter. They've got 5 guys in double figures. It's a very difficult team to prepare for because they've got tremendous balance, but each guy individually is explosive enough to take over the game.
So do you listen when these guys hold their news conferences, teleconferences and such? Do you get to listen in? Did you listen to Self's teleconference? And what did you learn from him?
You know what we do? I listen when I can. As a matter of fact, I did one yesterday. He was on before me and I listened. The thing that hit me the most was he talked about how excited he was for this team, that he didn't think, this team would be the team to get there. And I know that feeling. We have had teams that I've felt might have been better and didn't get here. And it's kind of the struggle about being a college coach. It doesn't, it's one and done. So it doesn't always work for your best teams, and you got to live with that.
Well, I'll stay with that theme, and I'll also stay with the Bill Self and Jay Wright thing, like we're selling this game, which we don't really have to do. You both won titles. You both made Final Fours. You have both also suffered early exits. You said the other day that what you do in the tournament is not the mark of your talent as a coach. What do you mean by that?
It is definitely how you are judged. There's no doubt about that. By your peers, by the media, by fans. It's what you do in the tournament. But as a college coach, really, it's, how do you impact your guys' lives? How do they compete every day? What do they do over the length of a season? One year we had the most wins in Villanova history. We got knocked out in the second round. And I tried to explain to the guys when everyone was criticizing them that you showed up every day. If you do that in the real world, if you show up for work every day, you're going to be really successful. You should be proud of yourselves. We're proud of you.
How quickly does that kick in for you personally, though? I mean, don't you beat yourself up after these early exits, or does somebody tell you what you tell your players?
No, I really think that way, Keith. I really do. I mean, when the game's over, and for a day or two, it just rips at your guts, and it doesn't really go away until the Final Four is over. And then everyone's starting a fresh season. But in your mind, that's your gut. In your mind, whether you did a good job or whether the team did a good job that year. And it still takes till the end of the Final Four to totally get over it.
There's nothing like listening to a coach in one of the immediate post-game interviews, especially after a hard-fought win, say something that you sit up and you go, I wonder what that means. So let me ask you what it meant. You said right afterwards, after the Texas Tech game, that they had really closed down your three-point game, and they had scouted you really well. And that made me think, all right, so somebody scouted you well. I'm getting a feeling that perhaps in the Final Four, the opponents will have scouted you even better. Are you now going from a plan A that Texas Tech scouted to a plan B that you used against Texas Tech, and now you have to roll out a plan C?
Definitely. When you play a game like that and a team does a great job of taking you out of what you do, you know that you're going to go against a smart coach, and he's going to watch that, and he's going to figure that out, and they're going to do a lot of the same things. So you better have an answer for that.
I wanted to ask you about your point guard, because in college basketball, point guards really are the difference between winning and losing. And your point guard, in a game where you didn't shoot well at all, I mean, you're so used to making 10, 12, 14 threes, and you only got 4. And Brunson took over the game. What is it like when you've got a guy on the floor who will do what is necessary to be done?
Tony, it is the most important position on the floor. It is the most valuable position to a coach, in that the team is going to function in a way that you want them to in the most pressurized situations, because your point guard is going to make that happen. And that's what Jalen does for us. We had a period in the second half we couldn't score, and Texas Tech was making a run, and he just made a couple great plays where he kicked it out for a three. He got fouled on M1, and he's always keeping our team together. It's invaluable, that point guard that's a leader. His father, raised him from 3 years old. His dad was in the NBA. He was always around NBA players. He is wise beyond his years. I remember when we were recruiting him saying to our assistant, Ashley Howard, I've never seen such a refined high school basketball player. And he is ready for college right now when we were watching him as a junior.
Thank you, Jay. Best of luck in the next game.
Thanks, guys. Good talking to you.
Thank you, sir.